I know pain. I know suffering. I know struggles. I know hard. When I was 13 years old, I was playing softball in my gym class and twisted my ankle at second base, and it ended up broken. My foot was cast strong, and that has led to multiple surgeries, chronic pain, nerve damage, all sorts of problems. I ended up going to a pain clinic, and they put me on morphine and fentanyl patches. At 13 years old, I didn't understand addiction, but I knew that I was hurt, and the pills made me feel better. From there, when I was about 15 years old, I ended up in a situation where I had access to alcohol. By 18, I met a boyfriend. He had been into using drugs, dealing drugs, and whatnot, and that led me into a heroin addiction. I was at that point addicted to heroin, meth, and cocaine. My life became very, very dark. I was homeless. I didn't have any money. I'd lost everything. And I remember a time that I was sitting in front of McDonald's with my boyfriend, and we were trying to come up with $1 so that we could share a cheeseburger. And I remember times that I was coming up with 27 cents to see what I could possibly get in a store. Finally, on December 19th, 2011, I decided to get clean, but I didn't change anything about who I was or anything, and I relapsed. I started smoking weed, taking pills, drinking heavily, and ended up in a really, really abusive situation. I moved to Texas to get away from the situation, but you can't really run from yourself. I went home from work one evening and had talked to my mom. I was going to tell my little sister goodnight. I got home and I was still trying to fight and push through, and I got in the shower. And when I got out, I remember thinking, I have to blow dry my hair, and I can't do it. It was the last straw. It was too much for me to fathom the thought that I was going to have to blow dry my hair. So at that point, I decided I was done. I typed up a little note. It was 3 sentences, and I saved it as a screensaver on my phone, and I attempted suicide. I remember waking up in the ICU several days later, and I was so mad. I was supposed to be done. That was supposed to be it. A couple months later, on October 4th, I had another planned suicide attempt. There was an intervention though, it didn't happen. That evening, I'd smoked a bunch of weed, and I remember just sitting there thinking, maybe I relapsed. Up until that point, I had been in complete denial, and I realized that I had relapsed and needed to make some changes. And I realized, my life has been so miserable for so long that, maybe I'll try 30 days. That's all I was gonna do. That 30 days, I was going to be completely clean and see what happened. It was really hard. I was in a really bad spot, but I noticed just enough of a shift to keep going. I rejoined with a group called Addict to Athlete. I had been part of them initially years earlier. The team helped me realize that I don't have to be anonymous or ashamed of my past. I remember the first time I was referred to as Athlete Hansen, and I remember just thinking, wow, that's so cool. I'm more than an addict. I changed how I ate. I lost about 90 pounds, and I committed to a life of service and to making a difference. I think it's easy for people to think that service has to be some big, massive thing that we do, and it stops people. And I think that we need to keep in mind that service can be something small, because I personally know how much of a difference it can make when someone smiles at you, or when someone, is willing to say, here's $2 for you. These little things, and those things have truly saved my life. Addiction in any form doesn't have to be a taboo thing. It's more common than people realize, and the way that we can make a difference is by talking about it. Addiction and mental illness is a part of me, but it's not who I am. I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, I'm an aunt, I'm a friend, I'm an athlete, I'm a Bambooligan. At this point, I have over 10 years clean from heroin, meth, and cocaine, and over 5 years from weed, alcohol, and everything else. I know pain, I know struggling, I know suffering, I know hard, but I also know overcoming it.